everybody. Welcome back to the Nikki and Carly show. I'm Carly,
I'm Nikki.
and we're sisters. And this is our friend Meredith here with us tonight. Hi, Meredith.
Hello.
So happy to have you on. We're so excited. We have such great stories. This is so fun. But first, we'll go ahead and, Nicole, how do you know Meredith? Why don't we go ahead and into that? Do you need a
Um,
minute, sister?
yeah, sorry. I,
Hello. You told me go. Are you ready?
I I'm trying to see if our video is live and I can't figure it out because
All right.
I
Well,
don't want to start if we're not doing it. So I wanted to make sure that we're live and everybody's there. So give me 1 second. How about you introduce Meredith and then I'll join in just a
okay.
minute.
Alrighty then. So, Meredith is our longtime friend. I have known Meredith for 15 years. I actually met her through our husbands all played softball together. So we met when we were both pregnant with our boys. So that was fun. We got to go through pregnancy together because they're a month apart, right? I think they're like almost,
October, November.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're a month apart, so we got to be pregnant together. So it was fun and laugh and sit through all the softball games, and then we just, became best friends since then. I love Meredith to death. She is my favorite person. Well, one of I should say.
Right? I'm like,
I
hold
don't want to
up,
get in
hold on.
trouble.
I may not be paying attention right this second, but I'm thinking that's pretty. I don't even know how to do this. I need my IT guy really bad because I'm watching some YouTube video right now and it's not us. It's kind of interesting, but okay, hold on. Live, let's see. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're on. Woo! All right,
right.
all right.
So, Nikki, how do you know Meredith?
So Meredith and I met because our girls were in class together, and so we would run into each other everywhere. So we'd run into each other at church, we'd run into each other at the grocery store, we'd run into each other at school. So Emily and Ella are the same age, so we were together all the time. We actually were trying to avoid being friends, and then we were like, we can't avoid being friends. We're just gonna have to be friends, and so that's how we started being friends. And it was really Meredith. Are you muted?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, you're good. Okay. Whew.
Are you frozen?
Are you frozen? Carly and I, Carly and I do that all the time. We're like, "Are you frozen?" I'm like, "No, I'm just listening."
I'm just listening. That's what I do. I listen. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and Jake played softball with the guys, and yeah, so we've all been together for a long time. It's been a
Yeah.
long time.
A long time. And like we truly did life together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Jake got his job transfer at the same time John did. So we were literally moving out of town at the exact same, almost the
Oh,
same
that
day.
was
Was it the same
painful.
day?
It was like, or at least around that same week or weekend.
It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
either
it
like
was.
that
It
day
was
or the
like a
next
couple
day.
days apart.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
we did
I
all of our
remember.
goodbye parties together. So
Mhm.
that was a lot of fun.
It
So
was like the worst time ever for me though. I lost my sister and one of my best friends. I was such
don't bring it
heartbreak.
up, Meredith. Don't bring it up. Look.
It was such heartbreak. But we do get to still travel together and see each other, so it is fun. We do girl trips and have a blast together. So I do
Yeah.
get to see girls, but I miss you girls.
So
I know.
Meredith, tell us about you because you're kind of one of the coolest people. So we'd like to hear about you.
Oh, well, so okay. So we talked about how we know each other and like, yeah, like I think some of my best memories of most laughter I've had, like just the most joy I've had is being with you girls. So I just love it. And so yeah, but about me, I've been married now. I should have thought about this. For
No pressure.
oh, 24 years it'll be. Yeah, that's right, because we're really similar in the
Mm-hmm.
time as well. And so John and I have been married for that long. We dated almost 7 years before we got married, so we were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
And then we have Ella, who is 20 years old, and she's at the University of Alabama. And like Nicole said, was best friends with Emily, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
two, I think will always be friends. Like they
Yeah,
just pick up
they're yeah,
where they left off. Yeah. And they
like we do.
giggle exactly like we do. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, Emily's gonna be your lifelong friend. She goes, oh, I know. Yeah. And then we've got Zach, who, yeah, and Nolan and him got to grow up together. And yeah, so he's 14, and it's so cute when when he heard you guys were doing a podcast. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, those are the two funniest people I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. So it was
Oh,
really cute. So
Now I'm
yeah,
nervous about what he knows about us.
I
I
know.
know.
He's never going to be able to look us in the eye again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
So,
so we talk about our week. So Meredith, you're our guest. So did you have anything interesting this week happen to you?
yeah, I mean, I always just think like interesting just in the sense of I feel like I'm constantly embarrassing myself. I don't know. I think just what happened earlier today at the grocery store. So it's like really cold in Ohio, like 19 degrees cold, and it's probably feels colder than that. Like it's super cold. We've got snow and all that. And I do my pickup, but I always have to get something else in the store. So anyway, so run in the store begrudgingly, get out, and I'm like putting my my cart back. And there's this guy who works there, and he's always working the carts, and really nice guy. And I think he just has like a developmental disability, and so he's really working on his social skills. And so he's always like, "Hi, how are you? Have you had a nice day?" And so I try to make enough conversation with him and like really encourage him. But we're outside at the cart corral, and I'm freezing. He's freezing. He's all bundled up, and he's like telling me to have a nice day. And I'm like, "You have a nice day too." And I'm just like trying to be in the moment. And I literally go to turn, and there's a car pulling in the spot, and he like had to slam on his brakes because I'm just like so just immersed in the cart with the cart guy. And I was like, I almost got run over. I just almost got run over at the grocery store.
So I think the one thing we need to mention that we didn't mention is Meredith's background is in therapy. So Meredith is a therapist, and really, I mean, you've been a therapist for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. And then I moved into the life coaching piece too. So I know. So I don't know. I mean, I do to a fault probably get too engrossed right there in the moment. But then I think there's just also like the clumsiness of me and the like, I'm like, I'm gonna,
Whenever we're in a conversation or we're doing something, we each have our own um, lane, I guess. I don't know. So, we always have one of our friends is always like, I don't think this is a good idea. I really don't think this is a good idea. Some of us are like, we're doing it. Let's go. Like, you only live once. And Meredith is a therapist. She's like, well, if we don't do this, how
let's
how do you think
let's
this
think
is going to
about our
affect us?
consequences.
Yeah. And
Are we
Jake,
all gonna go to jail tonight?
so
Or
when
we want to
we
sleep in our bed?
I didn't even think about this, but when our kids were little, they were in school, we always did the first day, last day. So we did first day mimosas and last day sangria. And so the ice cream place was right next to the wine place. So the kids would get ice cream and we would get sangrias, but they wouldn't let us take them to go. I don't understand this, so but whatever, it's fine. So we have a van full of kids. So the kids would be in the car watching movies, and we would be having our sangrias on the patio, and we'd be like, we always have this thing where we say, "And so, Your Honor," because if we can't say that out loud, then we shouldn't do it. And Meredith's always the one who's like, "How does this play out? Let's go ahead and play this out." So, Your Honor, we were drinking, but there was no key. Well, the car was on, but
yeah,
but they couldn't drive it. None of them can reach.
yeah. The oldest was in second grade, but
I mean, he's so wise. He's so wise. He's fine. He's got it all under control. He's got them all under control. The baby's in the car seat. It's fine.
I just remember like it made so much sense to us because the kids got a like a free ice cream if they brought in their grade card when they used to like print it out, right?
Yeah.
And so it made so much sense to us that while they were enjoying that, we would enjoy a glass of wine or the sangria, whatever. And I just remember going up to the bar and it being such a normal request in our mind. Like, so can we just have these to go? And they're like, no, no, we're just gonna sit in the car with the kids. And they're like, no, no.
You know, and you can't take the glass in the car. Like you
They're like,
cannot leave property with this. We're
how
like, can
far?
we sit outside?
Yeah.
I was thinking about when we were all deciding that it was a good idea to go take pictures on the construction vehicles at the beach. And Meredith's like, "Ugh, okay, we're gonna go. Let's go. I guess we're going." Like, she's playing it out like, shit, what am I gonna tell John if I go to jail tonight? Like,
Yeah.
like who's gonna bail us out of jail?
The problem is when we're all together, we're like, oh shit, we're each other's bailout. Like, we should have really thought that part out better. Like,
Somebody
who's
needs
gonna?
to stay back.
Yeah, and I think our children, we talked about this, that our children, Haley, Ella, and Emily, would leave us in jail to teach us a lesson. Like they would be like, no, girls, you've really pushed the line now, and you are sitting there and you're gonna think about what you've done. They actually told us that when we were on that trip, that they were like, we would not get you. We would make you think about your consequences. We were like, but so
So wait, Meredith, what else happened to you this week with the something?
Oh, well, I had a couple things, and this was involved a car again, but it was my car, and I was picking up my son Zach from soccer, indoor soccer, and his buddy, and their practice was from like 7:30 to 9. And I dropped him off, then ran to the grocery store, whatever, and then came back and I was like, I'm gonna bark back into my parking space because it's like the safe and smart thing to do, so that like when the kids come out, like I don't have to, navigate, I can just pull out or whatever. And so I'm like trying to do the back end and like probably like most of us, like we've got a backup camera, but like it's still hard for me to actually
Did you do an 18-point turn to get into your parking space?
in front of all the new drivers, they're like, look at this lady. I've been practicing this.
should put the like new student driver on the back of my car. No, it has an Alabama sticker in like Buckeye territory. So I know everybody is always like Alabama fans,
You can't drive.
They can't drive. They don't know how to drive in the snow.
Tell my one friend that's from here, and I was telling her about that, and I was like, they're probably judging me because I have the Alabama sticker. She's like, oh, 100% they are. But anyways, I was like backing into my space, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing good, and up drives my friend, and I just got so excited, it's like but probably like misappropriately excited, and so she's driving. I see her, and I'm like I'm doing one of those, and I hit the car behind me. I'm like,
Oh no. Oh no. You hit the car?
no, the curb, the curb.
Oh, the curb. I was like, oh my gosh, you hit a car? She's so like nonchalant. I hit the car behind me.
No, but that does remind me of a time where I don't know if I ever told you guys this when I was in college, and I was pulling into a parking space at the grocery store, and I felt like my brake was sticking, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, so I pull into the parking space, and I'm like, "Why is my brake sticking? Like it just feels like it's just weird. I don't know what's going on." And so I'm like leaning down, like trying to look and see what's going on. And I realize I have gum on the bottom of so it's like sticking on the brake, right? Well, what I didn't know is I never put it in park. And so
Oh.
I did hit the car behind me and I was going backwards. I guess I put it in reverse, but I remember, and it was such a slow roll, like there was no damage.
She's like, huh, huh, huh,
Um,
huh. Why is this so sticky?
And like I must across the parking lot was like backing up, like little jolts until I hit somebody. But the best part was is I look up and I'm all put out because I'm like, who just hit me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah.
You're like,
So
oh, I'm like out in the road. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I like went across the aisle and hit the other person behind me. I was like, all right, okay, yeah.
That was a lot of gum.
That is a lot of gum. But
Yeah.
the one thing about Meredith is so I always tease about Meredith about I mean, look at Meredith. She's gorgeous. She's like a Barbie. She's athletic. She's super smart. She's, I mean, funny, like the whole package. But one thing about I think why you and Meredith are friends, Carly, is because you guys are both so clumsy, and it is my favorite thing because you all would just fall. Like Meredith, you were talking to some. They were at the park, and she was pushing the kids on the swing, and the guy next to her was talking to her. She spit gum at him. She had to pull it off his chest, like a piece of gum on his chest. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me." Like, I mean, this beautiful woman. This guy was probably flabbergasted. Like, what the hell just happened? I mean, it's so funny. It makes me laugh so hard, and then I see things, and I'm like, "Oh, Carly and Meredith can't go near that." Like those weird elevators. I'm like, "Oh my god, they would die at that thing. They would die in that elevator. They would never be able to make it."
We are our own worst enemies. Like we randomly do. We just trip and fall, or I don't know. Like Meredith. Wait, what is it? Oh yeah, the ring camera.
Oh,
The ring camera's our worst enemy. Meredith and I hate the ring camera because they like to catch a lot of stuff. Which go ahead, Meredith, tell us about that one.
so yeah, so the Ring camera, the one out the front, um, John had plugged in the Christmas lights, and he does a really good job of like making sure they're tucked in the sidewalk and like all the things. And so the lights went from the house to the bushes to then the sidewalk trees. And so he's got all the trees all lit up. And I like now thinking back, oh no, it was this year he told me there's a just be careful because there's tree lights in the grass. Like thanks. But
Thanks, I got it.
Found him. I found him.
once again, because it's so cold here in the winter, it's like I always call it like running season because I run everywhere. I'm like, it's just so cold, so cold. I'm running here, I'm running here. And I think I was taking something to my neighbors and I was like, it's fine, I'll just run it down real fast. And I take off through the yard and I didn't realize about the light cord. And I you just see in the Ring camera me running out the front door, closing it, and then and then I just go flat.
She made the mistake of sending it to all of us in our group chat.
Yeah,
So
that was
we're
a
all
terrible mistake.
dying. Because literally in the video you can see where Meredith goes and the extension cord to the house like jams. I can't like rip it out of the house. She said, Carly, if I was going any faster, I'd have ripped them off the gutters. Oh, it was so funny.
It is so funny. So, Carly, what did you have this week? Do you have anything interesting this week?
Oh my goodness, I had quite a few things. So first, my husband is really embarrassing, and he embarrasses me quite often. And this week we're doing a job, and these people walk by, and they have their dog, and they have a beagle, and I'm like, oh, beagle. And he hears me up at the front of the trailer, so he steps out of the trailer, and he goes, oh, puppy. Whoa, big puppy. I'm like, Ted, you can't say that. Like, you just totally offended these people about their fat dog. The dog was huge. Whoa, big puppy.
Big puppy.
And then he did it again at church. We go to church and this lady, he overhears this woman he doesn't know talking to our preacher's wife, and she's talking about how she has to have surgery. Well, she was a heavy set woman, and she's talking about pulling a hamstring or something. Like she pulled something in her leg, and Ted goes, "Oh, you were running, huh?" And he's like, "Oh, why did I say that?" He's like, "You were running. You were like karate kicking people, weren't you? Like trying to make it better." Fight. We laughed, and then she's like, like laughs off. She goes, I don't run. No kidding. So he was totally embarrassed. So we were leaving church, and our preacher's wife is talking to us, and he goes, do you think I offended that lady at all? And she goes, what are you talking about? He goes, okay, great. And we leave. Like, you were so embarrassing. I can't even. And then we were working on our gate this weekend, and Mom, she's so funny because Pop's out there working on the gate, and we had to put a new automatic arm on our gate to open and close it. Well, she's like, she sees the arm like not attached, but couldn't see Pop opening the gate for
Oh,
us to drive out. And she goes, "Oh, it's working, but it's working." I'm like, "Mom, Pop just opened it for us." She's like, "No, it just opened." I was like, Pop pulled it." She goes, "Oh." It was so funny. And then sitting out by the fire pit the other night, Ted and Mom are going back and forth, and I'm just sitting there, and they're like chanting, it's chanting, chanting. They're going back and forth, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
You're like,
Like,
stop. Just stop talking.
just stop. I'm like, y'all lie down before you hurt yourself. It's Tatum chanting.
Mom can never get words right, Meredith, ever. Like
Ever.
she calls it Lubbock, Texas, instead of Lubbock.
oh.
Lubbock? Are you going to Lubbock? I'm like,
Yeah.
no. And so now she won't even say words in front of me because I'm like, no, go ahead, say it. She's like, no.
And then the other funny thing that happened, this one more, we're going to the PBR, and I told Ted, I was like, hey, I'm gonna buy tickets to the PBR and go to it, okay? And he's like, yeah, sure. The polo, and I'm like, polo, bird riddle. Like, where are we going? He was like, I don't know what it is. Like the rodeo, you know?
Professional
The
bull
PBR.
riding.
Yeah, the professional bull riding. It was so funny. The polo. I don't know what it is.
That is so funny. So this week, I only have one thing this week. It's pretty funny. So Jake has been dealing with asthma pretty bad, and so Nina and Papa came in town. They said we're going to come in and we're going to pray over him. And so the elders of the church, we met at the church after the service, and so there was like 15 of us in this little room, right? And they have like hands on Jake, and they're praying for him, and they're going to anoint him with oil and then pray over him. So the pastor has like this little spray bottle of oil, like it looks like one of those little travel perfumes, you know. And so they spray it, like they go to spray it on his forehead, and the thing is clogged. So it sprays past Jake and hits Papa in his like glasses, all over his face. Papa's like, oh. It's like oil all over his glasses, and they do it again. It sprays him again. Now we're hysterical, right? Because you can't get us in a room and try to be serious. Like, that's the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
And so Papa's got oil over him. Jake's got oil all over him because now the spray bottle's open. So they spray it on him, and they're like, oh, let's just rub it in. Like it's all over his forehead. So it was really sweet, and they're praying over him, and like all the elders are different, saying prayers or whatever. Well, Blaze is in there, and he's just running through all of us. He's 2, so he's just running through, and he starts farting, and Nate can't keep it together. So Nate's doing that, where he's trying to keep it together and he can't. So Nate's laughing, so that gets Logan. Then Blaze goes over and finds a tissue box, and he's pulling tissues. So Haley and Logan are wrestling him with the tissues. And he gets like this piece of tissue that's like just a quarter. And he starts blowing his nose with it. And like they're praying. And it's a real serious moment. And so one of the guys grabs a full tissue and hands it to Blaze. And Blaze looks up. He's like, thanks, dude. Like, preach. And then he starts blowing his nose. Haley's like, he has never independently blown his nose in his whole life. She's like, and of course he's doing it right now. in the whole group of these people. But it was so funny when they sprayed Papa. Oh, he was like, "Oh, oh." We said, "I guess Papa needs healing too." He didn't know it. But so that was my week. That was pretty fun. And then we went to dinner and the kids, we just had a blast, with the family at dinner and stuff. So, but so let's get into this show with Meredith because, okay, first, we know Meredith, so we know that her personality now, right? I did ask her when she became a life coach. I was like, "Oh, this is really awkward. This conversation. Do I owe you anything?" For being my life coach for so many years, like, what does that tally up to? Because can I make payments? I feel like Meredith's been our life coach for a long time. Not a very good one, though. She has gotten us into trouble.
Don't hire her.
Well, speaking of Meredith getting us into trouble, that's on when we had our girls' trip to Fort Myers. When we went out that night. First, well, that's when we went to the beach. We already told this story on a previous podcast, but
it was Meredith who was,
Nicole was stealing all the sea life. She was,
once again, we're all there. Who's bailing us out with the live? All I could think about, I'm like, gosh, what's going on?
So this group, right? But this group of girls, so the three of us and a couple of other girls, we traveled together. So that was like our traveling group of girls. So we did that a couple times. We went on a couple trips together. So that group is different than like our core group, group of girls. So this was a separate group of girls that we would travel with. So Meredith, Carly, and I would always be in the room together because we were all, and we would always be together. I don't even know if we've ever hung out with them when we went on trips with them, but we would always be together. So it was just like our trip, and we just kind of tagged along. So we ended up going to Fort Myers, right? It was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful hotel on the beach. I mean, just top notch, like 5-star, right? I mean, it was beautiful. And that's when we went to the beach all day, and then got in the elevator. Go ahead, Carly. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, this is a separate group of girls that we go with.
And this is the trip where Meredith thought we stole the sea life. So now we're all traveling into the elevator. She thinks we have sea life in the
cooler
that we're carrying. And then that's when I
farted. She farted.
The elevator. Meredith thought it was the old man by her, and she was like, "It's okay.
It's okay." Because he turns around and looks at me, and I thought, "Oh, bless his heart." He thinks like, "Am I going to judge him?" And I'm like, "It's okay. It's okay. It happens." And then all I'm thinking is like, these yahoos are confiscating wildlife. Like, you're okay. You're fine. And I didn't know, because I thought you were giggling because, and come to find out later, it was like, what, like our drinks and whatever, the ice and the water that was leaking, or in the cooler that was leaking. But I didn't realize why you guys were giggling until we got out of the elevator.
Yeah, my eyes were burning. And that dude totally thought it was you that passed gas. And he was like, "How is it you, so pretty, passing gas?" And you thought it was him. You're like, "It's fine. You're fine. It's okay." That guy's like, "What the hell?"
It was me.
I had my mouth open and everything.
But then that night, so all those people that we were in an elevator with were at the wedding that we later went to. Because
remember, every time we got like stopped at a floor, but we were so packed in that elevator, it was always like people really dressed nice trying to get on the elevator.
Yeah.
And they would get so mad because we'd come back to their floor and they're like,
we're like in bathing suits covered in sand. We've been at the beach drinking all day. Like, they were like, "What the hell? Push the button." We're like, "Sorry, we have to hit all the floors because we didn't push any buttons." But so we play this game, and it's a terrible, terrible game. But if you see somebody that's crazy, and I'm not talking like just crazy, but I'm talking like out of the normal, you need a friend to tell you that that's not okay. We changed it so you have to get a picture with that person or in the person
Background.
has to
You
be in the
get the picture
background.
with you.
Yeah. So we saw this. So we'd gone down to the lobby that night. The wedding, obviously, the reception is there at the hotel. And so we're in our pajamas and we're going to go down and sit by the fire pit. And so
We were gonna do
Carly,
s'mores.
so Carly, you went up to get the s'mores, and that was an
So
incident.
yeah, our friend who is kind of, where is she from?
New York.
New York. Super loud, just like no care in the world. Doesn't care who's listening to what she's talking about. Doesn't care, right?
She's literally like 4'2".
So we go up to the lobby, to the front desk, and this big black guy's there. And I say this because he was so uncomfortable with this little white girl because she's going, sir. Oh, first he says, we can't sell s'mores anymore. The cutoff is over. And we're like, what? Like, we're going out to the fire pit to go do s'mores. And she's like, oh, well, you should give me the s'mores because all night we had to listen to the people next door and they were obnoxiously loud. And she's yelling this in the lobby. And the guy's like, oh, okay.
Like she's having an orgasm. And I think she
Yes,
was like hitting the desk.
she starts acting like she's having an orgasm. She's like, this is what we heard all night. And like doing the facial expressions and everything. And I'm like running. Like, I'm ready to run now. I'm like, this is so awkward. And he's this like 6-foot guy behind there. And he's trying to crawl down because he's like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. I'm totally going to get fired. So he's like, here's your s'mores. Here's your s'mores. Just take them. Take them. Take them. He gave us like 6 or 7 packages of s'mores. So
They're like, you got them for
you
free.
girls.
So
We
meanwhile,
finally
like
got-
Meredith and I are sitting on the couch, just kind of waiting for them to come back, and this woman walks past us. And okay, y'all, she had the like marijuana clips with the feathers and the hat with the feathers, and she had like
Big red.
big hat. I mean, just the whole thing was like, oh, we need a picture of this. Like,
loud
this is-
colors.
oh, it was
everything.
amazing. It was amazing. It was going to be the best picture ever. Like, I was going to win. So Carly comes back. So now she's like, what's going on? And Meredith and I are now following this woman through the bar because we got to get a picture with her. So Carly's now with us. So the three of us are walking. And we're totally like we're getting her. We're going to get her. We're going to get her. Not even paying attention. And all of a sudden we get stuck like in a crowd. And all of a sudden people start handing Meredith drinks. And she's like, oh, and then passing them and then passing them to me. And I'm passing them and Carly's passing them. And we're in a group of people and they start doing a toast. And Meredith says, oh, okay. She's like, okay. And then the guy taps you on the shoulder. He's like, I think that's mine. Meredith's like, oh, obviously. Yes, obviously that's yours.
He was like so included. And I was like, thank you. And like, okay. Like, see, I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. You look like you're part of the groomsmen.
Yeah, because they're all dressed and we're in pajamas. So now we're standing,
Right,
the
we
three
were
of us. Yeah, we were. And the three of us are standing in the middle of this toast of all the wedding party around us. And we're literally in the middle. Like, and they wouldn't let us out. And so then they started talking to us. And of course we were laughing, having a great time. The lady's gone. We've missed the aunt. She's gone. The dad puts us on the tab, on the drink tab, includes he knows we're not part of it. We're in pajamas. Puts us on the drink tab. The whole wedding party's with us, having a great time. We're all partying and stuff. Our girls have no idea where we are. They're just over in the lobby.
They're
like,
all
where did
waiting
they?
to do s'mores.
Yeah, we're drinking it up, having a party. I mean, I think we had 3 or 4 drinks before they even knew we were gone.
They were out by the fire pit. We were like, guys, we really should go. Like, we're gonna go do s'mores. But we did. But listen, so that we got around the bar. It was like a big U bar. We finally got through the crowd and got around to the aunt and got pictures with her. We got pictures with the father of the bride wearing her hat.
Yes.
Pictures with him with the hat on from the aunt. We all have pictures. I have to find them. I don't.
You
Yeah.
have to find me.
They were the same with the guy with the Speedo on the beach. We got that picture too. The old guy
Yeah,
with the
I told
Speedo.
Meredith. Yeah, I said that's the one when on social media we put it on there. My aunt asked me if I was pregnant on social media. I was like, no, I'm going through a fat stage. Like, who does that? But yeah,
the
that was
so
that
the
trip.
so the whole wedding party was with us, and the bride was over on the side, and she was getting so pissed off. Remember? And we were like, okay, we need to really like go. And so
Yeah,
we
you
said,
guys.
okay, we're gonna go meet our friends by the s'mores pit. And then the whole party followed us out to the fire pit. We were like,
Mhm.
oh, no, you got to go back. Like you have to go back to the party. We're in trouble.
You're not dressed for this. You guys don't want to be here. You should go back.
Remember the bride was so pissed off. She was so
Yeah.
mad.
A bunch of them came down to the fire pit, and I remember the other girls were like, just kind of chilling. We're like, we've got friends.
It's like an entourage following us.
Yeah, we're all having s'mores. And
But
what was so funny about that night too is like it was gonna just be like a really chill, let's get our jammies on early, we'll go get the s'mores. Like it was just gonna be so like chill and sweet, like little sleepover kind of girl type things. And then it
Turned
just
into straight up wedding crashing.
thing crack. I
straight up
know.
wedding crashing. And we were trashed by them because we had drinks at the bar. We were drinking all day, and then we had drinks at the bar. And you guys went up, or Meredith and I, maybe we all went up, because I remember we went up to get another bottle of wine from the room. And of course, yeah, I'm with Meredith. And so we get back, and we come back, and our whole path is lined with cones because Meredith spilled
That's
all the
all the
way
time.
up. They come back, and the guy's like mopping, there's wine all the way down. We're like, oh, it's not us. Like, we're the
It's
only
like
ones walking through the lobby with glasses and a bottle. And then that night we giggled so hard they got mad at us. Remember the girls got so mad at us because we couldn't go to sleep?
well, and it was so funny because you and Carly were sharing the bed, but Carly was wait, no, who was allergic to the
Carly.
Carly.
Me.
So Nicole, you were just like, I'm stuck in here again with one sheet, no pillows. It was that trip too that like I learned that if you're because we all like brought snacks and stuff, and I was like, I'll bring the chocolate. And I think I brought like Hershey's, and I just remember they were like, "Oh, okay, no Hershey's are good. No Hershey's. No, we all like Hershey's, right? Yeah,
But they were real bougie. They were real
yeah." I know. I
bougie.
was like, "Don't bring Hershey's to a girls' weekend ever again."
Yeah, that was, and then we went, Meredith went with us to, did you go with us to Savannah?
Yes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was
that
the other.
was when I looked
Yeah.
like a trend,
Mhm.
I look like a man. When she did my makeup with the airbrush and everything, I looked like I could have been in a show. Like I was RuPaul.
I used to be one.
That's what happens if I get eyebrows darkened. Like I'm like, whoa, I look
Yeah,
like my dad. Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't do it either. I've got total 90s eyebrows, and I'm like, I can't make them bigger or I feel
Mm-mm.
weird.
Mm-hmm. No, that's me too.
I just won't get bigger anymore. I have
No,
plucked them all gone. They
Carly
gone.
has plucked them way, way too much.
So another trip that we just recently took was when we went and stayed at the beach. And at that trip, we had a couple things happen at that trip. Meredith was known for her limoncello that trip.
Yeah, so
And
Meredith, tell us about your limoncello because there's a story behind limoncello.
No, I was like, well, I want to bring something from, because, well, even to back up, like when we were first moving to Columbus from Florida, I remember everybody was like, Ohio? Like, am I getting the state right? I'm like, yeah, it's Columbus, Ohio. But I'm like, I know, I didn't know people live there either. Like, you,
On
there's a lot,
purpose.
yeah, a lot of amazing people. And so, but it was funny because I'm like, okay, what? Because, what can I bring from Ohio? And we have like the Buckeyes, like the chocolate peanut butter things. But
Don't bring
I was,
Hershey's.
no, trust me, no judging eyes. But I was like, oh, there's this place right in New Albany that makes a limoncello. And it's called Tesoro. And it's so we do these like Taste of New Albany where they bring in like different food vendors and restaurants and drinks, and you buy tickets and they make up fun little concoctions. And so they had made this like yummy limoncello where they mix it with Prosecco. Or you can mix it even with like sparkling water. Just have it straight. And so I was like, oh, this will be so fun. I'll bring this. Because that was another thing. I felt like everybody had stuff. Everybody's like, I'm bringing the cases of water. I'm bringing, all the chips and snacks. I'm bringing the frozen fruit, whatever. So everybody was kind of bringing their own thing. And I was like, oh, this will be perfect. I'll bring this because I was flying too. So I was like, this will be great. And so we all had our cups and like this was probably what, Friday night?
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
the first night. Yeah,
first night.
first
And
night.
are we allowed to name names?
I mean, I think so. I think so.
Okay. I was telling a couple other friends. I'll let you guys decide. But yeah, I'm like, it's so good. I'm like, you pour like a little bit of limoncello in it, and then you just pour like the prosecco in it. But we all had cups that like you couldn't see, how much you're putting into. Like typically this drink is in like a flute, like but here we've got like these 16-ounce
Stainless steel.
deal. And it was like hot, so you're putting and like these things were just going down pretty fast. But like I think I did like two of them maybe. But our one friend who said that I tried to poison her multiple times. Like she'd be on the phone with her sister and she's like, Meredith tried to kill me. I'm like, I did not try to kill
And
you.
I mean, did that with her sister, with her dad, with the caterer, some lady that she was talking to. She
Told
told all these
everybody.
people that you were poisoning her. And you're like, I didn't. I brought limoncello. Like, it's a drink. You're supposed to mix it. And turns out she didn't mix it.
It's
She
an
was.
after dinner drink. You're supposed to just sip it a little. Like it's supposed to help like clear your system, isn't it?
It's an Italian like digestive kind of thing or digestive. I don't know how you say it. But yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah. So like too much of it will like
Really clean your system.
and so we laughed so hard because we saw the bottle. We're like, oh my gosh. Like there was like a fourth left of this entire
Yeah.
bottle. And I think it was just three of us who were drinking it. I don't even know if you had any, Carly. I don't even know.
Oh,
And I
No.
wasn't drinking. So, yeah.
We're drinking. I think it was just three of us drinking. And I was like, oh my God.
So, needless to say, she was digesting it.
All night. All night.
So
And she was mad. She was mad about it. But then it was like midday. She's like, I feel amazing, Meredith. She's like, that was a nice cleanse.
So yeah, so she told everybody Meredith tried to kill her. I think she still tells people that you try to kill her.
Yeah,
And I
probably.
think she actually buys it now and serves it to her friends. And she's like, but you need to mix it. You need to mix
You need
it
to
with
mix it.
something.
You like two max in a glass, you can see how much you're pouring. It's not a 16-ounce kind of drink.
So the next day on this same trip, we had planned to go down to the beach, and we were gonna go down to the beach and do massages at the same time. So, and we were all just gonna switch off. Well, unbeknownst to all of us, we didn't know that this was happening, but the beach was being dredged right at our friend's house at the same time we were there that weekend. So that was like a whole other thing. Like
A
she's
whole other thing.
screaming profanities all weekend at the workers.
We're in like a high end house on the beach, and she's yelling profanities at the construction workers, and the neighbors were like, "What's happening?"
So we're like, we have to figure up something what we're gonna do. So we're like, okay, well, some of us will stay back, some of us will go to the beach, and we're gonna go. We had to go up the road to the beach and drive to it.
Yeah, we had to go to the club.
Yeah, we had to go to the club so that we could get onto the beach where they weren't dredging. Well, at this point, we'd all gone, and Meredith, I think, was last. So, Meredith, what happened? You went into the room and you're in there, and what did you hear?
Yeah. So the idea was that everybody would kind of take turns, that somebody would drop off the girls and then come back and pick up the others. And we had like a good system. And when it was somebody else's turn, and so it's like, I'll go last, like it's not, whatever is fine. And so I was just hanging out, and then it was my turn to go back. And like this isn't like massage therapists aren't usually somebody like knows personally, right? Like they're through like somebody you hear, whatever, a company. And so I was there and I'm getting my massage and like I hear all the like do do do. Oh, and remember because there were times when one girl would come out and they're like, "You guys, you got to be more quiet," because we're like in the kitchen and being noisy, and we're like, "Oh, we got to be more quiet." But it was kind of nice because you're laying there getting your massage, you can kind of hear a little giggling or a little putting together of like the drinks or snacks or whatever. And I hear like a door close and and then a door close, and I'm like, surely, surely they didn't just leave me here.
In the bedroom with this guy.
I don't even know the address that I'm at. Like,
naked in a dark room with this man.
And the best part, okay, I remember, so a little side note, when the stories like you tell your husband, like, oh yeah, it was good, we had a great and then we met up. Oh no, gosh, when anyways. Oh yeah, it's when we all met up at the beach like a week later or something. We were all talking and telling stories. And I told John, like, yeah, we got massages, it was great. Then we went to the beach, blah, blah, blah. And you guys are like, John, did your wife tell you that we left her alone naked with a strange man? He's like, what is going on?
Well, at one point we were on the beach and we were like, well, if we're all here, who's at the house with Meredith? like, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh gosh, we're all here. So Meredith is there by herself.
Yeah. It was just so weird. Like you hear the chatter and then you hear the doors close and you're like,
Oh, shoot.
he'll come back in.
Shannon will be coming. I mean, she'll come back, right? She'll come back for me. She's the one who's wise. She'll come back.
Nope.
And then, but that night, one of our other friends came out with this like pajama on that she was so excited to have on, and it had like a picture of like a lingerie, a woman's body with a lingerie on it. And she comes out with it on, and she's so excited to come out and show us all. We're all laughing. We're like, yes, we're going. We're going to go take pictures with the construction vehicles.
You're getting on the crane. You're getting on the crane, and we're going to get a picture.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's been police on the beach all day protecting it, and there's cones and tape and everything, barricades.
Yeah.
So
that's when we went down there, and Meredith's like, we're gonna go? Okay. Oh, all right, we're gonna go. Let's go. Go to take pictures. And our other friend who had the nightie on, she's like, oh, why did I do this? I know it's such a bad idea. Why did I buy this thing?
but it looked like it was her. It was exact same skin color and everything. Like it looked like it could have been her. It was so perfect.
So funny. So we went down there and we go to take the pictures with them, and we had to climb over a bunch of barricades.
Well, she kept saying to our craziest friend, no, there's barricades, we can't go. She's like, it's fine. She just pushes the barricade out of the way. We go through. None of us care. Like she
was like the netting, though. Remember, it's all the nets. We had to hop all the nets to get through.
All the bright orange nets, with the, and so she just pushed them down, and we get up there. And she was like, okay, get the picture. Let's go. Okay, I can't go out there. Just get the picture here. It's good enough here. Well, then we're walking back, And we, again, over all the barricades to get out. We must have made too much noise on there because we're going. And what did you say, Carly? You said let's run like it's the police.
Yes, so it was the police. So Bree said, "Let's run like it's the police," and she takes off running, and I'm like, "Bree, it is the police." And our other friend with the 90 on is like, "Oh God, oh my God, we're all going to jail. Oh my gosh!" Like she was so scared. Bree's running up the road. We're like, "Bree, you're a total dead giveaway. Like we were just jumping the barricades. He's coming for us."
He's coming for us. And we ended up, like, thank God her house was, like, right there because we dipped into the garage, shut the garage door before the police car came past us.
Yeah.
Because we would have gotten big trouble. If we would have gotten caught, we would have got, I don't know that we could have talked our way out of it. Although we did have boobs with us, so we could have, maybe. Maybe. But.
And then the next day, we went for a walk during the day, that same trip that we did that night before to go take the pictures. We walked it. Well, we were all walking down the street, just laughing, telling jokes, and all of a sudden, Meredith, out of nowhere, just takes a hard right in front of everybody and trips over the curb. Like, almost eats shit over the curb. Like, we're all like, "Meredith, what the hell just happened? Like, you just hard righted in front of everybody, cut us off, and tripped the curb." It was so funny.
I was like, the curb. They're like, no, you like ran intentionally. Like it looked like you ran intentionally into the curb. I was like, it just
It
Yeah.
was so random. So then later, Meredith was mouthing off to me, making a joke, something. I'm like, "Okay, curb check. You better quit." So Meredith got the nickname Curb Check all the rest of the weekend. That was so funny.
It was so funny. That was the best. Well, we always have so much fun on those trips.
We really do.
I mean,
That was-
did it. We're going to have to do it again because we have 250th birthday coming up. So we're going to have to celebrate soon. But yeah, Meredith and I, we had our girls were in preschool. And so we would go wait, after to pick them up. And there was this one girl, this one mom, remember? She had like the most perfect skin. Do you remember her? Like,
Wait, this was in the preschool parking lot? Was this with the boy?
well, was it with because it was in the,
Or this-
maybe it was with Nolan. Because I was picking up Nolan, and so you were there with Zach. And that mom was her like young skin. And I would just go to reach, and Meredith like, "Nope, you can't touch her. You cannot touch her." And I'm like, "Well, she's so soft looking." She's like, "No, no."
Your skin is so young. And like, no.
Not allowed. You're not allowed to touch her. You're not allowed to touch her. But she's so soft, Meredith.
Meredith,
So-
I remember we went to a party at Meredith's house one year, and Ted and I go, and we totally show up at the wrong house. We walk in.
Was it a Super Bowl party, Meredith? What were we doing? Was a Super Bowl party at your house?
I think it was. It was something like that because there was another party going on down the way.
Yeah, 2 houses down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was a Super Bowl party. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we go in and we're like, hey, huh? We don't recognize anybody here.
Right, because like you didn't, I don't feel like you knew me, but it wasn't like a close, like you wouldn't have not known like extended
I'd
friends.
never been to your house before. Like, it was our first time. So, yeah, I mean, it was like, and Nolan was little. I mean, or wait, no, I was pregnant.
Yeah, you guys were
That's
pregnant
when
still.
I was pregnant with Nolan. Yeah. Because that's when we came and Ted was drinking. And I was like, "I will drive. Like, I'm the DD. I will drive." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm driving. You've been drinking." So I was in his truck, and we were backing out of your driveway, and I nailed the neighbor's mailbox. Took it straight off. And I remember Meredith in the driveway go, ooh, it's okay." And I'm dying laughing. Ted's like, "Oh, glad I got my toolbox." So here we are fixing Meredith's neighbor's mailbox. all standing out front. I was like, sorry guys.
But wait, let's go back to you going to the wrong party because you didn't just walk into the wrong party. You set your appetizers up, took the top off, like
Oh,
walking around. I think Ted opened a beer, and you guys were like looking around, and like you didn't
like,
see
oh, that's
anybody.
weird. Where's Meredith and Nicole? And
you
oh,
had to
weird.
you had to wrap up your appetizer and take it back.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, I'm gonna need that one. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. This
I
was
was
fun.
so
Thanks for
embarrassed.
having us. Ted on a roll because they always come in with everything. Coolers, stuff, everything. I think the only other person that comes in with as much stuff as you is Bree. Bree comes in with some mad snacks. She's like coming in with she's like, oh, and get that cooler too. Like I'm always like, yay, Bree's here. But yeah, you had to full on rewrap your appetizer and bring it out. That was freaking hysterical.
I was so embarrassed. What an embarrassing day because we were like new friends. And I show up at your neighbor's house, hang out with them for a while, and then I take your other neighbor's mailbox off. She's like, I know Carly's gonna be my best friend for life.
You complete me.
Yes.
We do. Whenever we go anywhere, we always walk together. Like we're just stay together, just stay together.
Well, oh my, and it reminds it reminds me of one of my friends here. She just got her yoga certification, and she's like, "Hey, I'm having my first class." I'm like, "Yes, I want to come." I want to because we've done yoga together before, and I was really proud of her, really excited, and I've been to this location once before, and she's like, "Yeah," and I even got there early. But though I went to the one time I'd been there before, I went to one room and did the yoga with her. And this particular time was in a different room. But I go in, I check in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here for Rachel's class. They're like, okay, great. They're like, if you want to go, this way, we have lockers, you can put all your stuff in it. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And I'm thinking, I don't need a locker. So I went this way towards the studio that I was familiar with. And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. The whole studio is this way. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've never been in that one, whatever. They're like, oh, yeah, just right down there, you'll see the lockers. I'm like, okay, thanks. So I just walk and I was all like excited and bubbly to see my friend, and I walk into somebody's office. I turn right into her office, and I'm like, "Hi," and the girl's like, "Mm-mm." I'm like, "Wrong. Okay, nope, back there. Okay, sorry, wrong office." She's like, "It's by the lockers." I'm like, "I did see the lockers. I ignored the hallway to the locker room," and so I'm like apologizing, blah blah blah, and then I hear my friend go, "I know who's here." I'm like, "It's me." And as I'm walking towards her, I'm like, hi, I smacked right into the wall, like the whole side of the, I'm like, hi. Like, I don't know why I can't just do anything normal or like cool or like, I mean, we're in a yoga studio, like Zen. I loved it when she's like, I know who's here. I'm like,
Well, I think the funniest thing is your mom. Your mom always says she has like a thing where she says, "Well, we all have to have." What does she say?
we all have to have something.
That
Yeah,
Yeah,
humbles
my
us.
mom says
that
that
one
too.
got a lot of,
Everybody has something that humbles them.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Mhm.
always laugh because okay, there's two more things. We're getting real close to time, but there's two things I definitely want to talk about. The first thing is we'll come back to the humbling thing, but Carly, I need you to tell Meredith what you figured out with her because she doesn't remember. And I want you to tell her
What?
with your bathing suit.
Oh. Oh. Oh, I thought we forgot about that one. Okay.
I'm
So
crying.
I've always worn two pieces. I've never worn a single piece bathing suit. So I didn't really know how they worked and how to use them, right? So all weekend I'm like, man, this one piece is so weird. I can't get used to it. It's so weird being naked in the stall going to the bathroom. So Meredith and I went to the bathroom one time and she never said anything. She doesn't remember it. But I was like, man, Meredith, this taking off your whole bathing suit is so weird.
Meredith, she didn't know just pull it over.
Oh,
So she,
Oh. So I'm butt naked in the stall trying to go pee. Like, Lord help anybody who looks through my cracks.
they're like, is anybody in there? Oh,
oh,
God,
oh,
there.
okay, you take it all off to go.
I was so embarrassed. Nicole was like, "You're being serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Carly, your mother never taught you that?" I'm like, "No, I've never worn a one piece. I grew up with 3 kids. Never worn a one piece."
I'm crying.
Meredith didn't put two and two together.
They're just like,
So
oh,
I'm
okay.
in the stall butt naked next to me. She's just like, "I'm just trying to pee." Like, I can.
I'm crying. Oh, oh
Why
gosh.
is this always at my expense?
No, we've already talked about that. It's not always at your expense. I'm pretty sure we've gone to my expense a few times. Oh, oh gosh, that is hysterical. Her whole suit just sitting on the floor.
Like, ew, I would never let it hit the floor. You nasty. You don't ever let your garments hit the floor.
Oh my gosh, I was, I was at work. I might have told you this, but I was at work. Like this was a couple of months ago, and I'm scared to death of lizards. So I'm in the bathroom, and it's on the weekend, so nobody's in there. And my my friend's in there, and they're hanging pictures or something. Her and her husband, and so it's like kind of odd that they were there on the weekend, but they had to hang the stuff, so they want to do it during business hours. So I go into the bathroom, and all of a sudden, this little lizard, this little gecko, comes out of like the drain. Well, I'm like screaming. I'm trying to, and this is like my ankle and arm aren't great. So I'm trying to get up on like the toilet and the counter, and I'm like, help me, come in, it's gonna get me. Like I'm screaming, and she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What's wrong? Are you have pants on? I'm like, it doesn't matter, get in here and save me. Like, just come in, I don't care. And this little gecko just running in circles around the bathroom floor. And so I'm dancing everywhere trying to get around it. Anyway, her husband and her were crying because they were like, this is why you were screaming? Like, it's like literally was like an inch big. And I'm like, yes, that thing would have gotten in my pants. It would have gotten weird. Like, your husband would have seen things we're not proud of.
What made you think of this? Did you drop your pants on the ground? You
No.
You're so nasty.
I
That's
was
what made you think of it.
no, it's worse. I was at the office, and thank God the cleaning crew had just left because it all smelled like Pine Sol. I hope they don't just wipe the door frames like I do, but whatever. Oh yeah, I cleaned. Can't you smell it? You're welcome. Follow me for more tips. But so I pulled my pants down, and my debit card was in my pocket, and it fell in the toilet. And I was like, oh no. And she's like, are you okay? Do you need me to come in? I'm like, I'm good. I'm washing the debit card in the sink. Man. So, so Meredith, speaking of humbling, and I thought this was it's kind of important to share because I'm just so proud of you for how you handled it. But you had Bell's palsy just recently.
Yeah. Yeah. That humbles you. It does.
Yeah. So we were gonna have you on a couple weeks ago, but then you had the Bell's palsy, so we were like, well, let's give her a couple weeks to see
Yeah.
if she'll come back to
get back.
normal.
Normal, right? I know. And so, yeah. Yeah, what is normal? Like then you start to question what did you really look like before when people will be like, you look normal, right? Yeah? You yeah? And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. But like the first few weeks, I mean, it is just like pure paralysis. And everybody's like, it, could take 3 to 6 months. And it's like, I hear that. And I'm like, if I'm not better in 3 weeks, something's happening. Like, I'm going to will it to be better in through 3 weeks. So thankfully, John's like, remember it's time and all the things. I'm like, okay. And I had a couple great friends too who are like, we're getting outside. I'm going to take you for a walk. We're going outside. We're going in public. Like, this is happening. I'm like, okay, we're doing this. I will be seen. It'll be okay. And so it was like 2 weekends after Ella and her boyfriend came in for Thanksgiving, and we picked him up at the airport. And of course, Ella had known that I had it, but she hadn't actually seen me. And so like it's like you kind of can't tell if somebody's not smiling at all, but as soon as they smile, it's like super distorted. And when I saw her, I mean, she was like, "Oh my gosh, mom." And I mean, she just starts laughing. And oh, wait, and let me even back up before then, because when she came down out of like security area, she ran and gave her brother Zach like the biggest hug. And they just like caressed and were hugging. And so then her boyfriend was there. And so I gave him a big hug. And I'm like, "I'm sure Ella told you about my face." And he's like, "No."
Oh.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Do you know what Bell's palsy is?" Mm-mm. I'm like, "Oh no." I'm like, "I can't believe Ella didn't tell you." Like, like my mom can't. Like, she's distorted. But the best part too, was that like throughout this whole thing, like it made me laugh so hard because Zach would constantly like poke fun at me, but not in like a mean way. But I mean, anytime I would laugh or like smile really big, he'd just do the "Oh, mom, that's what you look like." I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, can't laugh without being super awkward about it. But
Well, it was so
yeah,
funny because I totally, you just you just forget, when we were like praying with you and calling you and stuff. And then I saw the your pictures from Thanksgiving and I was like, "Dang, Meredith, like way to be so sultry in the family picture." Cuz everybody's like
She looked
smiling
all.
and you're like, "Hello." Like, "How are you?" Like you totally looked so sultry, like you were being like almost like you were trying too hard to be sexy is what it looked like. And I'm like, "Damn, that's a lot for family picture, like at Thanksgiving." And I called you and you were like, I was like, "Oh, that's right, Bell's palsy. Like, it's your face. It's your face."
but I can't remember what I put on the group chat. It was like a few weeks ago, and like it did heal up like by the mid December, so it was healed up for the most part. But I can't remember what I put on our group chat. And I was like, "Well, at least you didn't have Bell's palsy or something." And it was like crickets. I was like, "Oh, I meant that to be funnier." Do you remember? I was like,
Yes.
"You can laugh."
Well,
Everybody was like,
and the worst part is like we will like full out make fun of each other on that chat. Like no, that chat can never get out in the public. Like it could never
Oh.
be in public. And like we have actual rules about that. If somebody dies, you're like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, she's dead. Anybody see the phone? Anybody see did anybody grab the phone?" But I'm gonna need her face before you take her. I gotta unlock it. But so Meredith and I had talked separately, and we were talking about like you should do a face cream video because then you could get. So we were talking
"Yeah,
about how like yeah we should do a face cream, like look how much better I am, like look what this face cream did for me, and like you could really become an influencer quick. And so we were making jokes, and then Bree asked me, she said is how's Meredith handling it? And I was like, I think she's good, she's fine, but she was not going to make fun of you. And then you made fun of it on the chat because I made a post and it sounded like I was such an asshole because nobody
yeah."
else knew that we had talked. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not being an asshole. Like we literally talked about it. It's fine." And then you made a joke and nobody responded. And then,
Yeah, she said, then add Bell's palsy. That's a real joyful experience. I was like, can you just please face me to the wall?
It was
And then it was crickets. And then she said, sorry, that was meant to be funny. I reread that and it sounded sad.
and then Bree put crickets across
yeah.
it.
'Cause we were talking about how ugly you feel when you get your hair cut
Oh,
and
that's what it was. Yeah.
I'm like, "Add Bell's palsy," because that's the last time I got my hair highlighted. And I'm like, "Oh, my hairstylist was like, let me just turn you to the side a little bit." I'm like, "Thank you."
Only one of us should have to look at you.
Yeah.
Meredith was a good sport about it. I mean, you did make funny jokes about it in your text feeds. I remember them.
I know, but
I
we
couldn't find
totally
them.
missed, I totally missed the opportunity. I was like, I could have we could have like had a company and made millions off of some
Millions.
sort. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we
What
could
were
have
you
mixed oatmeal together with something and just like
Yeah.
made a miracle drug. Look at,
Yeah.
I'm only going to do it on one side.
We totally could have. Dang it.
I know. But I was so proud of you the way you handled it and just how brave you were about it because, I mean, it was pretty scary because you didn't know
Really
what was happening. So the first time you thought it was a stroke. So that was pretty scary. And you were real brave about it. And I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. Thank
And you do look normal again.
you. You're beautiful.
It helped to laugh about it and just yeah.
What what
Sure.
was the story you were telling us about your mom and you guys are gonna take a picture?
The selfie.
Oh, the selfie. I know. So with my mom, she came, her and my dad came for Thanksgiving and they're like, oh, we're gonna like bake the family bread recipe and like all these like sweet little things. And I was like, oh, that sounds so great. And I think it was like after my mom had made the bread, she's like, let's take a selfie and we'll send it to one of the aunts. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. And so my mom's like, okay, let's smile. And like I was just to the point where if I could do a sultry smile, it looked okay enough. But the minute I would like show my teeth, you're like, oh dear. And so
Oh, the
I did
sultry smile. We saw the sultry smile. Yeah.
I did just like you know, and my mom's like, oh yeah, that's cute. She's like, okay, let's try it again. What if you do like your real smile, your real pretty smile? I felt like a little kid with the teeth, Meredith, a real pretty. And so I was like, and she goes, oh, okay, no, the other one's just fine. The other one's
Nothing like our moms to keep us humble.
Well, I know. And then it was like, shopping season. And I felt like every store I had to go into, like if I had to ask a question, I mean, I was just like, so I'm not having a stroke. Not that that's funny. It's not funny. I just feel like I have to tell everybody this. And then like I kind of regret it. I was like, I could have just like worn a mask. They could have just thought I was sick.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could have really taken advantage of that.
Except that my one eye had a different.
Oh.
They're
It
like,
would, it
they're
would
like
stay
this. Look at this hot woman
open.
giving me this sultry smile and winking at me. She's like,
Winking. She looks like she's winking at everybody.
Because
"Hi."
the one stayed open, so I had to like press out to blink.
How many people thought that Meredith was hitting on them because she had that sultry smile, and then she just slowly like, "Hey."
It was like a doll eye. The doctor's like, we can give you. Well, he did gave me eye tape, and I'm like, have you seen me? I'm like, can you make my eye tape too? I'm like,
Do not listen. Do not wear an eye patch in Carly's shirt. Then you would have been a pirate. Carly, please show us your shirt.
I said, girls, I can only wear this shirt on here because I got it from Shein, and it's like one of the arm sleeves is way bigger than the other, so I can't wear it out in public. So I can only wear it on here.
Oh, it's so funny. Well, ladies, this has been so much fun. Thank you, Meredith, for joining us tonight, and we'll be back next week. Like and subscribe. Leave us comments. We'd love to hear